I now give the floor to Mr. Tom Fletcher.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also thank Special Envoy Grunberg for his energetic commitment to peace in Yemen. Mr. President, I hope the Council will join me in grief and outrage at the death this week of our much-loved World Food Programme colleague in detention by the Houthi de facto authorities. Like Special Envoy Grunberg and the Secretary-General, my thoughts are with his colleagues and his family. And as I have cause to say here much too often, we must protect our courageous humanitarian workers, wherever they are. Mr. President, the humanitarian appeal for Yemen, which we released last month, paints a grim picture. 19.5 million people need humanitarian support. Millions are hungry and at acute risk of life-threatening illness. Children and women make up more than 3/4 of those in need. According to World Food Programme reporting in December, 64% of the population of Yemen were unable to meet their minimum food needs. And that's up 3 percentage points, even from November. And that number will, I'm afraid, rise again this month, driven by lean season scarcity and rising food prices. Mr. President, as in any crisis, children suffer first and suffer most. 3.2 million children in Yemen are not currently in school. Half of all children under the age of 5 are acutely malnourished. 70% of 3- and 4-year-olds have not received a full course of vaccinations. And children under the age of 5 are dying at a horrific rate, mainly from preventable or treatable conditions. In 2023, an average of 5 every hour. Mr. President, despite significant risks, humanitarian operations across Yemen are largely continuing. But the detention, as described by the Special Envoy, of more UN staff in January has led to tough decisions regarding the ability of the UN system as a whole to deliver for those in need. UN and humanitarian partners simply cannot be expected to operate in the absence of guarantees of their safety. Faced with real risks to the security of our staff, we've therefore been forced to temporarily pause operations in Sa'ada Governorate. We remain fully committed to supporting the millions in need, and we hope that this pause will only be for a short period. And to this end, we're taking all steps to preserve our capacity to restart operations once security guarantees have been obtained. Mr. President, globally, humanitarians are overstretched, underfunded, and under attack. We face this growing challenge in a spirit of cooperation and pragmatism, guided by the urgent needs of those who we serve. The situation in Yemen is perilous. My asks for the Council, 3 asks. First, get United Nations and civil society staff released. They are there on your behalf. Protect them, as humanitarian law demands. Because to save lives, humanitarian workers need to talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Second, back us to return to UN operations at full capacity. And amid mounting global funding challenges, give us the money to deliver for those we serve. And third, don't take actions which hit the access of civilians to essential services. Political and security decisions should not punish affected communities by limiting the flow of essential commodities into Yemen. Any severe disruptions to that pipeline, commercial or humanitarian, will have cascading negative consequences for Yemeni communities already on the precipice of disaster. These lifelines must remain viable and undisrupted. Mr. President, almost 20 million Yemenis are in need of our support right now. This is a tough place for us to deliver that humanitarian support. And I recognize that it is a tough place for you to get the political judgments right. But we must be brave, principled, and unflinching in our effort to save lives. Thank you.
I thank Mr. Fletcher for his briefing. I now invite the Council members who wish to make a statement to take the floor. I give the floor to the United Kingdom.